Hi everyone, my name is Vuong Tong, Design Director here at Evolving Web. I worked actually in print and web back in the day when it was actually flash sites embedded in HTML pages. And thank goodness that's no longer the case because you can definitely see the web is, made great strides since then. I was definitely interested in solving client problems. So what happened was I went back to school to study a course called Innovation Management at some Central St. Martin's in London. Then that brought me into New York, working for an innovation consultancy, leading a team of brand, environmental, product designers, taking ideas from strategy all the way into development. Then afterwards, I worked for a web design platform to help create schools to help teach the next generation of web designers. And then that brings me to where I am today, working at Evolving Web, leading the team of 10 designers across UX, UI. I lead the recruiting, I lead the overseeing all the design here at Evolving Web, and just build up the next talent and just see where design goes. There are three things that changed when I joined. Firstly, it is team review. So taking a lot of the fun and the experimenting that happens at design school into our studio. So we have team reviews twice a week where designers can take all the projects that they are working on and get feedback from each other. And I think that's super fun because it's a very safe way to get feedback. As a designer, you're constantly looking at the same screen all the time, so getting a different perspective is super helpful. There's also increased collaboration on Figma with not just design, but developers to really understand, hey, what are some ways that we can make sure that our sites are kind of pushing visual design, but still making sure that it's technically feasible. Also codifying the design process. Too often, design is sort of seen as just throw something at it type of process, but in fact, it's actually systemic in a sense that you actually create processes to make sure you get really optimal outputs. And that helps us scale our design team as we start to grow. And it's when I started with about 3 designers, and now it's 10. In the future, we're looking to double every single year. One is ambition. So here, things are just so fast moving that you need to make sure that, hey, it's a hairy problem, but I'm actually excited to work on it. Number 2 is mosaic, and that spans across the expertise that we have here, as well as the cultural diversity that we have here. People come from all over the world, and yet, even though they come from that part of the world, they have cultures in maybe the opposite side of the world. And I don't want to sound cliche, I would say evolving in a sense that we are very strategic in where we want to go in terms of the hiring, the projects that we want. Everything is very driven to the sense that we want to grow and scale in the right places. There are 2 projects that I can think about. One is actually for a senator in the States, and it was a twofold challenge in the sense that we had to build a site that represented him and his brand, but at the same time also represent the district and everybody there who's trying to access information about his legislation. There are issues that are local, so it's part information but part brand, and I think that was a very interesting challenge to achieve both because it was visual but also content strategy. The second project is actually for a financial savings platform powered by cryptocurrency. And that project, we had no brand to start with, so we actually created a brand strategy, visual identity. In that case, we then applied across the entire platform itself. On a project for that financial savings platform, there was actually countless APIs in the back end. And so think about verifying your identity, connecting to a bank account, adding money to a bank account. And all those different APIs definitely need to be accounted for. But then on the front end is really building a seamless experience throughout. So the user cannot sense that they're actually moving from door to door, that they feel like they're on a single platform. So that for me was the most interesting thing to learn about. Definitely bolder designs. We want to push what a website could be, how it looks, how it functions. So in a sense, we're not just building websites anymore, we want to build experiences. there's actually two groups I want to ask you to give us input. One are designers. So what challenges do you have in designing a site? And then the second group is actually those who need a new site. What challenges do you have actually just starting it?